Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason, and this is another Disney themed episode, and unfortunately there are no markers I'm going to show you, but I'm going to continue on with the Disney theme where I left off in Marceline, Missouri. In 1911, Elias Disney moved his family, sold the farm in Marceline, and moved down here to KC, and they started a new life. Walt Disney actually felt more comfortable living in a big city because maybe that was where he thought he would make it big, but unfortunately his fortunes weren't really that high here, as he would leave to the bigger city in Los Angeles, where, you know, a lot more entertainment industry is. But Kansas City was where it all started, and within a 5-mile radius I'm going to visit his house, his old school, his old animation studio, and the place where he showed his cartoons, plus the place where he bought a one-way ticket to Los Angeles, and well, he came back, but not for a while. Here we go. All right, starting on the tour is this house where Walt Disney and his family moved to in June of 1911. I don't know who lives here, but of course over there it says private property. There's a couple Mickey statues there. There's a Mickey Mouse sign there, but I'm pretty sure, you know, people visit this place all the time. I am aware that there are a few YouTubers who have been here, but you know, it's cool to say that now I have seen it with my own two eyes here in person. And 1911, of course, was a turning point year for Walt. Him and his brother would do a paper route for the Kansas City Star. And the school which I'm about to go to is only a few blocks away, so come with me. In front of me is the old elementary school that Walt once attended from 1911 to 1917. Walt Disney later acknowledged about his years at the school that they made him to the man that he is, and how they always encouraged him to spark his creativity, in which he did, of course. Now, after the Disneys moved back to Chicago, the name was changed to D.A. Home School, which the sign is still up there. So in 1942, he was invited back to a reunion, and of course he graciously accepted. He was signing autographs to his old classmates and teachers, as well as reminiscing about the old days and, again, how they made him into a better man. But this is now a retirement community. And yeah, the D.A. Home School is still up, and the building still looks in good shape. I'm sure it's been redone many times over the years. All right, now on to the rest of the Walt Disney tour here in KC. Here we go. So this building right here is where Walt Disney had his first professional animation studio. There was a big mural right here. Half of it is still up, but unfortunately, I think it was last year, somebody drove into it. Yeah, I mean, my head is really shaking on that one. It was a really nice looking mural too. And it's brought to you by the people from thankyouwaltdisney.org. I will tell you more about that at the last part of this video. But this is what he called the Laugh-O-Gram Studio. He had about a team of about maybe, I want to say 11 to 15 people working under him, doing his animation drawings. And Walt didn't really live here, although he did spend many nights here, you know, because he didn't really want to go home. He was kind of overworked, and he slept in his office, and his employees would throw away their lunches in the wastebasket, attracting mice. And and a lot of people believe that was where the idea was conceived for Mickey Mouse, because he was attached to this one mouse that kept coming back to him. I don't know, legend has it. So the building obviously looks very gutted. I mean, if you look up there, there's like nothing up there. I mean, I can't go in, of course, and I'm out in the open where people can see me. So if you want to know where this is, it's at the corner of 31st Street and Forest Avenue in Kansas City. And a lot of people may ask, okay, Why isn't there a museum dedicated to Walt Disney? Well, unfortunately, I mean, yeah, I mean, the idea has been hatched many times before, but that was where the group Thank You Walt Disney comes in. All you gotta do is visit the website. I mean, if you have thousands and thousands or millions of dollars sitting in the bank now, and if you're a big Disney fan, I mean, now's your time. I highly encourage you. You know, if Walt Disney is a great success story to you, then I would definitely consider donating, because they definitely want to do something about Disney's legacy here in Kansas City. Oh look, Kathy, Steve Moore, Bill Amend, a lot of other cartoon characters. I mean, this would be the perfect location for it to happen. So sad, but then again, I've seen things come out of the rubble and happen again. And that's another reason why I think, you know, another reason why a lot of people look up to Walt Disney, I mean, myself included. I mean, not only, you know, is his name on the biggest worthy media empire today, I mean, it's worth billions and billions of dollars, but this is a guy who his work has been rejected many times. I mean, many people doubted his creativity. His father told him, "You will never make a living drawing pictures." Well, Walt Disney never gave up. That was what a good friend of mine told me. And that's why a lot of generations have been entertained by Walt Disney and his creations, and this is where it all started, professional-wise. Just a block away, right at the corner of 31st and Troost Avenue, was the Isis Theater. Today, it is a parking lot and light rail station. But the Isis Theater entertained audiences from 1918 and 1968. It was finally torn down in 1997. This was the first theater to show the works of Walt Disney. While I'm sure the Laugh-O-Gram Studios was a great learning experience for Walt, it did not last long, as the business went into bankruptcy after producing 6 animated shorts. Even though this was a personal failure, it was also a sign for Walt. Perhaps a good one. Right in front of me is the famed Kansas City Union Station. It has so many cool things inside. I mean, yeah, you can jump on or catch a train here like I did. Or you can also visit the Museum of Illusions. I mean, there's many things to do inside here. But this was a building where Walt Disney, after he declared bankruptcy, he boarded a train in 1923, a one-way ticket to Hollywood, California. And he would eventually come back, and while he was in California, him and his brother formed the now famous Walt Disney Studios, drawing up cartoons called, I mean, mostly like the Alice comedies, but he would also do like Oswald the Rabbit. But over time, though, 3 years later in 1926, Walt became very disillusioned with those, and he just felt like he was stuck in a rut. He needed a new idea. So what did he do? He took a cross-country train ride. I think it was to New York, but I could be very wrong about that. But he did indeed pass through here in 1926 on a train, and he was reminded about that little mouse that was floating around his studio that he got attached to. And he said, "You know what? I am desperate for..." He didn't say it in these words, but I'm sure in his mind he was like, "Well, I'm really desperate for new ideas. I have a new mouse, and I'm going to call it Mortimer." Well, that mouse became, it was of course later changed to Mickey, because Walt Disney's wife did not like the name Mortimer, but Mickey was more friendly sounding, I guess, in her words. But yeah, this is the famed Union Station, and Walt Disney, he left KC, but not for good though. Alright, so again, if you want to contribute and help out to this organization, go to thankyouwaltdisney.org and go from there. But until now, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, around Walt Disney's old haunts, signing off.